What's going on, Pokemon League Championship fans? It's a little brighter out than normal with us doing this on a Monday evening. Joining us today is longtime favorite. Can't shut up, man. Longtime favorite commentators, friends of the show, some of my favorite people here, and the finalists themselves. So I have with me Jay, aka the Cleaner.
Yo.
KO that boy. It's good to have you back.
Appreciate you.
And then I got Zach, aka Akakage, aka co-CEO, aka Dumpster Fire.
Yo, what's up?
So we got the finalists. Honestly, most of the stream I could probably let them kind of take the reins. I mean, this is their show, really. But let's kind of get into it. I'll just bring up our replays. Boom. So this is their first match. We got a couple matches to talk about. Let me turn this music down a little bit more. We got a couple matches to talk about, but I think what do? We start with is it Jay?
Yeah, man. I guess I'll start it off. So, what's it called? So the entire week when I was prepping, I was like the one thing that really had me shook. Zach, I don't know if this was just a thought in your head at any point. I was like, bro, if you bring this Arcanine, I'm probably like fucked just from the start. I felt like I didn't really have anything outside of like Slowbro and potentially like Zapdos to really deal with it. If you brought Intimidate, Defiant, but it's like if he justified at any point and I wasn't ready to like immediately go on the offense, I feel like he probably would have swept me with the Arcanine. So I was hesitant to bring Sun as well. So I was like, I don't want these Flare Blitz to do mass damage. So I was like, let me leave the Sun at home. I knew I was gonna bring Urshifu and Zapdos for all three matches if you know that's how it went down, because I really didn't want to deal with Snorlax, and I was gonna run Throat Chop for the Sylveon, just so like I know he likes to run hybrid voice and Throat Spray, so like that's probably a thing. And I feel like that puts a lot of instant offense on the board for me, so that's what I did. And I also put Porygon there in case he wanted to go Trick Room. I could probably send it out there, disrupt it, take a couple hits if need be. Also take the Trick Room down, and then just be annoying Porygon stuff. And then Crobat was there just for this is actually Tailwind, Whirlwind, Brave Bird, and Protect. I couldn't get a Super Fang bred one because I totally forgot that like Whirlwind was a move until that Friday. Like, so I was like FML. Like it's an egg move. It was possible, but I just didn't want to go all the way back. So like it's fine. I'll just run with whatever. So I was like, I'm just bring this.
I don't know if you know this, but Pokemon can learn egg moves by just hanging out in the daycare with something that knows it.
That's actually kind of funny because I literally had to do that this exact weekend. I had to do that myself because I couldn't gen.
So like if you had like one with Super Fang on it already, and then you like bred one that had Whirlwind, they could have just hung out together and he would have got Whirlwind.
Nah, I'm like, well, that's a discussion another time. But I'm like, I can tell you that's not the case. But that's what I was thinking. And the lucky was there just because I was like, hey, should I bring offensive or defensive? If I wants to go a bit defensive this route, so it is Focus Sash, Screens, Eerie Impulse actually, just in case things got just in case things got a bit wild, and I'm like, yo, let me just, with certain things, Sylveon, Naganadel, be more specific. So I was like, let me just break that just in case to hit him. And yeah, it's pretty much what I was rocking with for game one.
So I'll say this. It's actually kind of funny you said that you're afraid of Arcanine because like I was thinking about Arcanine like heavy because I saw that it had a lot of good advantage versus a lot of your team. And I was gonna go for it, but like I'll be real. Like the main reason I was like not feeling Arcanine this week, at least for the first couple rounds, was because I did not want to inadvertently boost Defiant. I saw Zapdos obviously, and another part of it was like Arcanine speed tier is base 95. And like when you compare the speed tiers of my team versus yours, your speed tier is pretty much completely like take me out the water, like on both ends too. So it was like bringing Arcanine was just kind of like I could set him up sure with the justified boost, try to go off, but realistically, like you had a plethora of outs to deal with him if he did get under control. Regieleki would go before him. Crobat would probably set up Tailwind. And it's really was just like I did not feel comfortable bringing him like that because at least as a sweeping role, because like it was just you had so many outs to it. I mean, even Venusaur could have wide lens sleep powder, and that just kind of puts the puppy to rest, and then he gets earth powered. So it was like there was too many factors, along with Zapdos, to kind of like ruin his utility a little bit. That just made me say I don't think it's the best idea. It was definitely in my planning prep for a while. Like I was like had him on the team, but I just found more and more reasons to just say nah. Like maybe game 3, I would have brought him for the and I would have probably brought him like more as like a attacking intimidate kind of thing, maybe like with like a berry on him that had just like some straight up attacking moves like extreme speed, so he could hit outside of trick room and stuff. But I don't think I would have went for the sweeping role at all. I just felt like you had way too many options at your disposal. Like that would have just pretty much made him irrelevant.
Okay.
I will say I definitely going into this matchup, I definitely prepped obviously for Venusaur the hardest. I wanted multiple outs to Venusaur, and that was actually why I go for Snorlax. Because he's a special sponge. He could come up clutch. And I actually brought him on this team. Now you might see the first team is a little more on the faster end of things. But Snorlax is here just in case you did get the trick room up. Or, you might see that choice band on him. I could have him as a nuke just in case, because he could sponge most attacks that weren't like fighting type. And this Sylveon is actually pretty interesting because most of the time I usually bring the same Sylveon. It's like 252, like modest with like max HP, max special attack. But this one is a little different. Except this one specifically is that I actually was like, I want to make sure that I can tank max poison from like Venusaur or something. So I actually went 252 HP, 252 special defense, and went for like calm, and then it had like almost no special attack investment because I was going to, the idea of it was I could tank any kind of special attacking hit from Venusaur or whatever, and then I could use the Throat Spray to boost his special attack, so I wouldn't even have to invest into it. And then I had Side Shock on it to hit the Venusaur super effectively. So it was a pretty cool idea. All in all, this is the team that I rocked with, and it was pretty cool. I think that's really all I got to say as far as the prep for this one goes. Any input that you felt about our teams, Ian?
Yeah, I thought that they both didn't belong here. And I was curious as to how they got here. But no, you
I don't
guys.
know, man, because I'm like that ass whooping in that first game that I gave you. I don't know. How should be questioning that?
Yeah, I was about to say. I
I
don't
don't
think
know about. Yeah, I'll
know.
give
I
you
don't. I
game
know.
two, but just don't forget that game one got a little out of hand from you real fast. Just
I
relax.
mean, I'll be real, man. I don't even think you should be saying shit until you go to GameStop and replace your control. I don't
Oh,
think you got the
I,
speed to
I didn't
even
say
back up
wow.
anything.
You see, look, I didn't. Wow, Zach's just out of pocket today. I said nothing about no controller or anything. My guy's just wow. Zach, have some like respect with
All I'm
that.
saying, man, is that's been like the best, like most performing player this season has been joysticks.
Wow.
He
You
just
said
put
he
in a
doesn't
lot
want
of
to
work
talk
for a
about
lot
it
of people's
anymore,
teams.
bro. Why do you keep bringing it up? Why do you keep like slandering him like this?
Dude, I'm sorry, man. This is funny, bro.
Jesus, the haymakers from downtown.
First joystick son, just completely screwed
Oh,
Colossal out
he's
of doing
he's still
anything.
going. Oh no.
All right, I think that's all I got to say. you, you guys ready to kick this one off?
Ian, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah, I'm right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
We're
okay.
starting at
I'm
one.
okay.
Shut the fuck up. We're starting at 1 minute.
1 minute sounds good.
You can't see his face anymore. I wonder why. Maybe he's fighting back the tears.
Oh, it's actually that one.
No, I'm just playing. Man, I'll tell you though, it's tough, not being because these past couple weeks I haven't been able to gen, so like everything's been like,
The old
All right, now
fashioned
that
way.
that's over, um, yeah, I wonder how
Yes,
long it's
sir.
gonna take him to realize that he's in the different wrong chat. Um, but yeah, sometimes you just
I
gotta
feel
cut
you,
him
man.
off. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
get you. Sometimes you just gotta, just gotta slow your roll. I feel it.
yeah,
But yeah, man, I'm ready to start off. You are, I guess, until
yeah,
Zachary
yeah,
is in the wrong
yeah,
chat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, all right.
I don't know.
What happened?
That's
I think my phone took me out for some reason. I
Oh,
don't know why.
that's weird,
yeah.
man. That's weird. All right,
Heck,
so
That's
we're at a
crazy.
minute.
all right.
All right.
Oh, you guys already started?
No, we're
Nah, no,
at a
I'm ready to
minute
talk.
waiting to start for you. We're waiting on you, man. You disappeared on us.
All right, I'm ready to go.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Starting
Cool,
off.
cool.
Zach, if I could take the first couple minutes just to talk about something, real fast. I just want to say, me and Zach, these outfits were coordinated perfectly. We both went for the suits, and I thought that was really cool. I'm glad
Yep.
that he got rid of that depressing ass picture he's been using for at least the past entire
Oh yeah,
season.
no, man. If you actually look at it, it's the same picture, but I realized that David's ghost was haunting the place. I had to get the fuck out of there. I was like, all right,
Respect that. At least you blocked out. Wow, I did just realize this whole
what?
time I was scared shitless because I thought you had taunt, and I was like, well, if he taunts me on the fucking tailwind, I'm gonna be super upset. And that was my biggest thing. I was like, bro, if he
Funny. That is
That was-
so funny.
that was and I was like, bro, do I run mental herb? I was talking to Reese. I was like, bro, because if he taunts me on this tailwind, I'm done. Like that's a loss right there.
Dummy done. Yeah, no, I get it. No, that's funny. It's actually pretty funny. You'll see in the other game, the other light part has taunt on it because I went for a different strategy.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, it's pretty funny that it just worked out like that.
I wasn't expecting the max here either, but I'm like, looking at it, I was like, man, that was like that's a smart move, and that should have been obvious.
Oh no,
I
man.
maxed here? Oh, I did, yeah. I maxed the curl back. No, I wasn't expecting you to max first turn. I thought he was going to do something. I thought you were going to hit me with the trick.
No.
I was like, maybe I'm going to catch him off guard and get the free kill on the nag, but then I didn't think you were going to Dynamax, or else the Wicked Blow. Well, we'll see in a bit. I'm like ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Nah, my whole point of it was I know one of these are gonna Dynamax, and I can't say exactly who would Dynamax, so fuck it, we're going off.
Yeah, I'm like looking back at this now. I don't even know if this would be
And it was pretty funny because it's like literally like a battle of the fast poison types here. I got the bee versus the bat.
Oh, fun fact, we're also in a Discord chat going down.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was really this was really clutch because you had the Lumberry on point. You were like, yeah, I know he's got that prankster T wave. I don't care about it. And I saw the thing go off, and I'm like, oh man, if he double targeted the Nag, I might be in trouble.
That was clutch though. That tank was actually super clutch later on.
Yeah, man. Max speed, max make HP, just enough to tank the hit and get back out of there with the eject button.
And I was like, fuck, bro. I was like,
Mm-hmm. And now I'm thinking like, what do I want to be able to take, advantage of the boost? And I was thinking for a minute, I got Max Airstream coming out. I'm like, I could bring in, a Pokemon to set up, but I'm like, oh, but you also got Max Airstream, so it's kind of just neutralized at this point anyway. So I was just like, whatever. I'll bring in the good old faithful.
Respect it. Love the color as always.
Always, bro.
Look at how much fucking damage that did.
Yo, it does so much. The crit is real.
Oh man.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, I gotta get that boy out there.
Yeah, that was a smart move right there.
I was really afraid you might have had the sash, but I was just
in my head. I was like, damn, should I sash him? I was like, because I forgot this thing got a flying type attack. So the whole time I was thinking about what can kill Rachel, like Sylveon. That threw me off guard. So I was like,
Oh,
I was just like,
that's fair.
I mean, I was like, you were there in the voice. I was like, oh shit.
Mhm.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, because you weren't expecting the max air stream coming out. It's like, oh,
I was like, oh shit. Download comes out, and as always, I never get the special attack boost. I'm not drafting Porygon.
How does it even
season,
fucking decide, man?
It's ever which like defense stat is like lowest.
Yeah.
So if his physical defense is lowest, I get the physical attack boost.
Yeah, like kind of like Trace, like whatever is like out there.
It's fucking wild, man.
Yeah. I was like debating, like you see right here. I'm like, I know I'll be faster than Yusuke, so I could go for the poison and boost both our stats, and then Yusuke might be able to finish it off, but I wasn't positive, and I was just like, if I just do this and then I get wrecked by the Crobat right here, I'm just kind of fucked on all kinds of momentum. So just like, nah, let's just go for the safe play. Yeah.
So here I played it safe, only because I just felt like I don't want to eat, what's it called, an ice beam.
Right.
And I was like, if I set up Trick Room, I know Nag is still faster. Just
because
after the Beast
boost.
Boost, yeah,
Right.
the Beast Boost, I was like, nah, I couldn't else.
And that was a really clutch play on your part, because I was not expecting Trick Room to go off. I thought you were going to use like Ice Beam or something, but yeah, the Trick Room going off was really clutch. So now I'm just kind of like, well, fuck. I'm basically kind of like feeling like Nag's about to eat the L here. I'm just
so
like,
right here, because it's funny to say that. So right here, I go, well, damn, I was thinking how hard this shit. I usually make them move fast. Shit. I'm like, press something, motherfucker, today. There you go. Oh, so I actually went for the double target on the Inteleon.
Oh, you did?
I wanted, I was telling you before it started, I wanted to get Mamoswine out so I could kill the Nag, right? But then, unfortunately, I got frozen, and then I was like, okay, that's fine, just thaw out. And I don't thaw out, and now I'm just like, shit. I mean, you were on, like Zach is my witness. When I saw this freeze, my mood just dropped.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah,
I was just like, there's no way.
We're both in. You gotta remember, we're both live on Discord as this is going down, and I'm pretty much like my fate is sealed at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got the speed advantage, but the freeze happens, and I just go, whoa! Like I just, you know what I mean? Like, I was excited. I was hyped as fuck, and Jay was just like, what? And then he already used up the Lumberry, so he couldn't even bank on that.
And you know, like, and you know, got me more upset. And I think that this is kind of like a trend that we're gonna see as like the series continues. I thought about my match against Brendan when it literally didn't matter because I had match one and I froze. I think it was like his Gigalith, and it thought out that same turn. And I thought about match against J-Wave where I froze his Amoonguss, and it thought out the very next turn. Right. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So
usually that's how it goes. Usually that's how it goes.
Not when you're playing Zach. Ask Mike.
I could have recovered right there. I chose not to. I didn't think that was a great switch on his part.
Me?
And now, I'm just asked out because now I can't reverse Trick Room, and I have this bat, and I don't want to switch anything in. So I'm kind of like fucked on like all ends. And I can't.
I was kind of like, Trick Room's up. This is the entire reason Snorlax is even on this team, in case he threw up Trick Room. So I was just like, I'll take advantage of it, I guess.
And I'm hitting attacks. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, no, you're good. You're good. I was like thinking like I could just attack and then on the last turn destruct, but then I'm like, oh wait, he's banded, so I won't be able to do that. So if I'm gonna do this destruct, I gotta do it now. And I'm, expecting, the usual Magnet Regieleki, so I feel like this was a pretty safe play. Get two of his problematic mons out of here off jump. Keeping you guys safe.
Yeah, I'm still frozen. I've hit Protect too. That's the reason why I went
I
first.
noticed that too. I noticed that. I was like, yeah, he's trying to protect. So
At this point, I'm trying to stall out the trick room. So I checked. I was like, fuck.
this was clutch though, because he has the sash on Reggie Alecki, so he was safe. I was just like, fuck, that was I was looking back at it, I was just like, man, that was a really whack ass play. Like I could have just attacked normally with Snorlax and been fine. But I had the self-destruct just in case, like I could sponge a hit from Venusaur or Torkoal and just kind of like blow up the board.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
I definitely did it. I definitely did it for the memes. I'll say that. And I should have thought more clearly. Like I had Lipard, back on the back burner. I could have just hit it with a fake out, but I was like, nah. I really wanted to use this shift in momentum to try and set up a little bit, but I could have played a little bit more carefully here, probably.
Yeah, and here I'm just like, fuck. I'm just like, at this point, like I know. I mean, there's still a small chance I could bring it back, but I wish I had a knockoff right here. That did a fuck ton of damage.
Yo, yeah, this is crazy because I was like, man, if he has knockoff, I'm fucked. And because I'm going for the meteor beam. I've been wanting to bring this move all fucking season. I love this move, and I never had anything to use it. So I was like, yeah, I'm going for it this time. And it goes off. And it's funny, we're in Discord, and Jay's like, miss.
Yeah, so I'm like, why the fuck? Like, why does he, like, I was like, bro, because again, common trend, I'm thinking back to all my matches. I'm like, we know that the shit can miss. Because it missed against Dan, and that potentially cost you a game. So I'm just like, all right, miss this one time. Because I'm like, my 90% moves don't hit. But again, I'm not trying to sound like Sawgrace, but again, at this point, I'm just like potentially winnable if he doesn't have Psychic. I'm like maybe.
Mm-hmm. But I was like, it was funny too because I was just like,
probably Dazzling's waiting for kill here.
I should have went for Thunderbolt right here too. Fuck, man! I'm looking at that now. I'm like, I totally potentially could have killed that dude. I doubt it though. Maybe a half health, maybe.
Probably. Yeah, with man mode, absolutely. Maybe if you'd like double targeted. But then you got this nag here to worry about too.
Well,
I don't think
I meant going for the Ice Shard, and then I could have went for Thunderbolt. I don't know if that would have killed. I have to check that, like you said. But I'm like,
I think you double targeted on you. That would have probably killed.
We're not talking about double targeting.
We're talking about if I Ice Sharded like I did, right? Mm-hmm. And then I see. The Mew was half health. Maybe I would have killed it. Damn,
you probably would have. You probably.
Oh my god, I was so pissed at this point.
But you also definitely got to remember that like there was also still Sylveon to worry about as well, along with his Lipard. So like, who knows?
I was ready to hit that mofo with the craziest Brave Bird, but then I was like, nah, he's gonna fake out. And I was like, he's gonna fake out and let me not. I was like, let me make it respectable.
Of course I had to go for it. And it's kind of funny because if you look at the speed tiers, they actually speed tie. Mew and Zapdos speed tie. So I was like, nah, that's not fucking happening to me, bro. No speed ties for me. I ain't taking that gamble.
And with the stab and the special attack boost.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the tank, though.
Yeah, no, he tanks the shit out of that.
The light screen going down fighting.
Yeah. The light screen was clutch.
And the crit.
I know. I'm like, of course.
It felt so unnecessary at that point. Like, oh yeah, all the heck I take, but I get the unnecessary crit that kills me. Someone pull up the Zapdos meme. Like, really?
And what is that? 2-0? Yes.
2-0. I mean, for everything that went down, you brought it back. The trick room was really clutch. I'll say that for sure. I think I was like kind of like it reminds me of the match I had with J Wade, where it was like.
Right.
The trick room wasn't like the main point of your strategy, but it just so happened to come clutch because of what happens in the match. Like, so you're just like, it was the perfect momentum tool.
Nice.
Yes, I mean, who knows what would have happened if the max airstream would have went off, but
I will say this too. I was also not anticipating, because if you remember the turn that Reggie Alecki kills Inteleon. Trick Room is still up. So I was thinking, Inteleon, is naturally slower than Regieleki. I should have this kill in the bag.
Mhm.
But because of the max airstream boost, I was actually faster than Regieleki. So I
Right.
couldn't do anything.
So
T-Bolt.
here's the deal. T-Bolt killing Mew would have left you with the. Yeah, I think you would have.
Sylveon.
Yeah, Sylveon. Well, you would have had Sylveon and his
Lipard.
Lipard, which I mean, you could have double protected the next turn for the fake out, gotten a fat fucking. I mean, it wouldn't have done that much damage with Sylveon's bulk, but you could have hit
Yeah.
it with. You could have hit it with a fat Thunderbolt.
I gotta ask you, what was the item on Zapdos?
What? I think it was Life Orb, and I knew because I ran the calc. I was like, if this Sylveon does not have physical defensive investment, a Brave Bird kills. I maybe have to double check that one more time, but I was like, if it gets to that point, then it's like I'll be okay. And it's like
I
if
gotta I gotta
but
count because it
yeah,
was it
but
was
well, like I don't know. I don't know if that's 100% certain, but I feel like maybe it would have had a chance. But I mean, again, I just feel like if the Inteleon went down right there, I would have been a bit more confident to bring Mamo in to take out the Nag early. But I mean, that's it's Pokemon.
Yeah,
Deal
man,
with
that's
that.
Pokemon right there. can't can't expect it. Hey, we could make all of the woulda, coulda, shouldas, in the world there, but that freeze happened, and we're both just kind of like off surprise. And I'm gonna say this right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going into this matchup, and I'm like looking at the teams, and I'm like, man, Venusaur just kind of runs amok on my teams. Like, I didn't even want to bring Rillaboom because of Venusaur. Like, it takes advantage of my grassy terrain and then kills me with its stab. Like, that sucks. So I didn't want to bring it really like that. So I'm kind of going to this matchup, really kind of like all honesty, expecting to lose because he has so many good lead combos versus me when it comes to Venusaur, it comes to Zapdos. Like, it's looking grim. So I'm thinking like, if I lose this matchup, it's okay. I just hope to go to game free. That would be cool. We have a tight, good set. And the freeze happened, obviously I was already considering my fate sealed. And the freeze happens, I luck out and I win that round. And I'm like, think like going into game two, I'm feeling happy, because I'm like, shit, like I felt like I might have got washed here. And I'm like, okay, we're at least gonna probably go to game free, and I'm feeling good about whatever happens. So
Yeah,
that's kind of my mentality going forward.
it's always strong when you're coming in off the first win of the best of
Yeah,
three.
especially when it comes to like playoffs, like you get that one win, you're like, okay, I didn't get washed. I've had so many like seasons where it's like I do great all season long, then I get the playoffs and I just get washed like too low, and it's just like so like it's such a bad feeling, man. Like I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So,
Um,
so yeah.
what's it
Well,
called?
So
minute 24 seconds.
all right,
Wait, we still gotta
so
talk about the
Jay,
team. Oh shoot,
Jay,
I'm
this
good.
is
Yeah.
this is game two.
Mhm.
Um, so obviously at this point, you took the L, the freeze happened, that sucked. What is your mentality now? Because obviously I told you I had to take time out of this match because
Mhm.
lo and behold, I'll just tell you the reason now since the match is over. I only had one Naganadel, and I was already planning on running this item round two.
Mhm.
So I had to exit out to manually switch my items since I couldn't just clone my Naganadel like I usually
You
do.
know you can switch items from Team Reg, right?
Right, but I didn't even have it like on the team. Like I wanted to make sure that I
Yeah, you
usually make
can
sure that
you can actually go into the team and it opens up your entire Pokebox.
I don't know why it's kicking me out. Discord's weird like that.
It's cool. So
I,
basically, you can go into team,
team reg and edit your team.
not just your team, but items and everything. You can edit everything.
Right, but I also had to change TMs and stuff too.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I had to
Um,
change the mood.
to answer Zach's question, and again, this isn't. I'm sorry if it comes off as arrogant or like
Mhm.
what's what I'm looking for. Selfish, but I truly thought that the way that match was
Self-absorbed.
going, Yeah, so far I really thought the way that game one was going, if I hit that max airstream and I killed the Inteleon, I truly feel that I would have won that match. And that's
I
not,
agree.
and I'm
I
not trying
agree.
to take away because I know this might like rub people the wrong way. I'm not trying to take away from Zach's victory. I understand that, but I just felt
That
super
you
strongly that if
had that
that
match.
freeze didn't happen, I would have won that match.
Right. No,
That's
I agree with you. I think we both kind of agreed there where it was like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm confident enough in my ability that I can turn around a losing situation. That's no secret to anybody. But at the same time, given all the things that we saw, the freeze probably definitely it was absolutely the thing that turned the match around, like verbatim. Like, and there's no denying that on any point. Like you even gotta admit, like if at any point you falled out, like not even just the initial freeze, but if you falled out at any of the points after, there was still 2 turns he was frozen.
right.
That in itself could have changed the game. We don't know. I mean, you could have bought out, got a tailwind off, and you would have been set to go. Maybe who knows?
hmm So
Um,
going into game two, this I made two teams. This
mhm.
second team was if I this was a team I was more confident in because I was like I feel like this covers a lot of things extremely well. I felt like if you went Trick Room, I had Slowbro for Rhyperior, I had Torkoal as well, which regardless under Sun with what's it called? I ran Charcoal instead of Specs time, but I was like if I'm under Sun, whatever gets hit by a Heat Wave Eruption is gonna hurt no matter what it is.
Right,
And
right,
again, I
right.
was like, I'm bringing the two fighting types specifically for Snorlax, because in case it goes Trick Room and Urshifu pressures, what's it called, Copper Grigus and Bronzong really well, and it could
Yes, yeah.
potentially OHKO them if it gets that far. The only thing I was scared of is if he ally switch with either of them, and then like a Will-O-Wisp comes out and fucked. But I was like,
Mhm.
whatever. If I take one of them out, I take one of them out. That's all I need. So then, what's it called? And I bring Slowbro. I'm like, Slowbro could tank a lot of hits. Physical defense for the Snorlax and for the Rhyperior, and its weakness policy. And I have the Gardevoir there for two reasons. Gardevoir is there for because it's actually on Shadow Sneak. So if I was in a position where I felt like I could max the Slowbro, I could set off the weakness policy with the Shadow Sneak, and I also have Ally Switch on it. And at one point, I was like, if I get this life part on the field and I can trace Prankster and I can ally switch, then that's perfect. Because my Gardevoir doesn't get paralyzed. You know what I mean? If I ally switch into a Thunder Wave, so I'm like, that's perfect. And then again, Porygon's there just to be annoying, so I felt like that's what it does. And then
Right.
again, yeah, so that's pretty much it. On my side, that's how I felt. I thought out of the two teams made, I thought this one was the better one, and that's why I saved it for the second one, for the second
Right.
game.
And I'll say like I'm going into this matchup, and like I've said before, obviously, like the main thing I'm afraid of is Venusaur, and I mean, that's obvious to anybody. I mean, anybody that looks at Jay's team, Venusaur, and like like obviously all of his fast stuff is like probably like the most problematic stuff you think about.
Obviously.
So I'm thinking of like ways I can really deal with this Venusaur, and one of my ideas for my outs was actually Scarf Naganadel because I ran the calc on what is it, the small gone damage calculator. And the cool thing about the small gone damage calculator is that it actually like tells you like what speed your Pokemon hit when there's an advantage. So if there's like a +1, if there's tailwind up, or if you have choice scarf equipped, it tells you exactly what your speed is. So I actually calculated what speed tier I needed to hit to outspeed Venusaur. And originally I was going to be like, okay, well, let's try Scarf Modest Naganadel. And it still wasn't faster than Modest Venusaur under Sun. The only way I could outspeed Venusaur in the Sun was having Timid Scarf Naganadel. That was the only way I was doing it. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to have this here. Now, my idea going into this matchup was that obviously you look at my team, it's pretty slow. I'm going for a trick room composition. Like I'm probably going to start off with the hard trick room, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I take out. I see your fighting types, and I'm like, that's a problem. I can lead my fast Pokemon here. I know I'll outspeed, and try to deal with those so that Rhyperior and Snorlax can come in and kind of like go unhindered, really. because they can pretty much sponge most things. And it's actually interesting because Rhyperior on my team, everybody knows I usually go for like the weakness policy, maybe free attacking moves and protect. I actually just completely switch it up. I'm like, okay, let's go assault vest, like max attack, max special defense, so that I can tank a hit from Venusaur and clap back, with something hard. And with D-Max, like I pretty much just tank everything. Like, so I didn't really have to worry about that along with the solid rock. The main thing I was worried about, I see this team here. I was really worried about Slowbro. Slowbro, typing wise, just kind of like really kind of takes a dump on my team, hits Naganadel for psychic damage and hits Rhyperior hard, along with being able to burn it, so definitely things I was thinking about. So I'm going into this matchup. I see the team. I see you got Trick Room going up. I see no Venusaur still. So that felt good, honestly. I didn't have to worry about wide lens sleep powder off the gate and then kind of fucking up my play. But I'm seeing the Trick Room mirror match, and I'm like, shit. How do I lead this? Do I lead going just hard off Trick Room off the bat with like Coffergigas and Rhyperior? I felt like I could do that maybe because the idea of it was I could D-Max Rhyperior and ally switch into a fighting type move and just kind of tank that. But I saw your team and I'm like, if he leads Torkoal right here, I'm just fucked. So I figured I would be safe and go with my fast mons first. And so that's kind of how I lead here. And now, like last match, you were saying you were surprised, whatchamacallit, about this Lipard here that I had the eject button on it. But I actually go for Focus Sash here because I'm like, with Scarf, I don't have to have T-Wave on it. I don't need it because this Naganadel is going to be faster than anything anyway. So I actually take it off for Taunt. And Taunt just kind of like, is a little more universal. But that was my thought process. Did you feel like you had like a tough time thinking about your lead choice here, seeing this team, seeing like the Trick Room mirror here?
Not really, because I felt like if you did lead, what's it called, the Coffergigas, I was like, I could potentially just knock it out with like, a Wicked Blow. But again, you had ally switch, so probably wouldn't happen. The Rhyperior, if I saw Rhyperior out, I probably would have held off on the max, because obviously that's just not a good time. But besides that, no, I was like, I'm gonna lead Urshifu's Zapdos regardless, because I just felt like
You felt like
that
that was the way to split him.
Lowe's, if Lipard that already like makes its options, it gets halved already. You know what I mean? So it can only do something to just one thing. It can fake out
Right.
which is the
I
thing,
can't.
but
I
it can't.
can't affect. I can't affect
Exactly.
it, the Urshifu with Prankster, and I know that going in because I've done that so many times, specifically against Jay. Like I always hit his Dark type with like something with Prankster and it fails, and I'm just like, nah, I can't do that this time. I'm hip. I know, but that's really all I got to say about this matchup. Any input in that you see looking at the teams?
Lots of berries. All right, let's kick it off. We're gonna be at again a minute and 24 seconds.
Oh, a minute and 24. I had it at 24. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, a minute and 24. I'm good.
Jay, you didn't let them know how to get the perfect record time.
That's
Nah,
the thing.
man.
I did.
Listen,
No, no.
listen,
I actually told Zach. I was like, Zach, when you press OK for your team selection, let me know. And I don't think he the first time he heard me. The second time, I don't think he heard me. That's
Oh no.
He
We
had
were
been
good
recording
because
already.
right. The thing
oh, okay,
was
that
is
makes sense.
that the thing was we were gonna go with Jay's recordings, but I had recordings
Well,
ready to.
we'll talk about that in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
play
All
the
right.
footage. Play the footage, Chief.
All
Play the
right.
footage.
1, 2, 3, go.
Now, Zach, if you don't mind, I'd like to run point the next
Yeah.
two
Go right ahead.
minutes.
Take listen. Take
Again,
the liberty.
sexy ass trainer cards on both ends. Can't stress that enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So well, 1 point games low. But again, like I said, leading the fighting combo. I'm just like praying because this was the one thing I was like, please don't lead this shit. I was like, okay, we're okay. I was like, as long as Zach does not Thunderwave Zapdos, I think we're okay. That was my main concern. I was like, I know if I'm Max, I can tank one hit and I have Stomping Tantrum for the Max Quake into this net. So I was like, I need to take this chance now because I don't want this thing to get going. And I also was just like, if I get the special defense boost, that goes a long way and I can immediately start to put pressure because then Urshifu is also safe at this point. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I wanted to get Max Airstream. So as you'll see in a second, Zach is still deciding to take moves.
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe I could fake tears it, but I didn't want to trigger your Defiant and then it still lives. Like you needs to.
Yeah,
that would have been.
Well, as I mentioned
right there.
in the preview, I was like, if I get Gardevoir out and I trace Pranks, that's clutch. So I was like, if he doesn't Thunderwave me this turn, he's gonna Thunderwave me next turn, but I have Ally Switch on the Gardevoir, so I'm fine. You know what I mean? I was like, that's fine. That's
Right. That's okay.
Feeling good. I'm like, alright, the Max Quake is gonna come out, so I'm gonna OHKO this Nagano down. I'm gonna be at +1 special defense, right?
Right.
Fake out. Smart move. Goes for the Thunderbolt. Doesn't even do half. I get him paralyzed. And then I can't move. And now my speed is cut. And that's pretty much all she wrote for Zapdos. Because as Zach mentioned, he has fake tears. He knows now that if he does it once, that's probably going to do it for me. At this point, I lost it. My motivation to play just went out the window. I was super upset. I left the Twitch channel. Zach my witness. I said there's no fucking way. That's probably as loud as I could.
Yeah. No, dude. We're both in Discord at this point, and the freeze was already bad enough the game before. But this happens turn one, and we're just both like stunned. We're just like, what the fuck?
And I will say I could have ally switched right there, but at this point I even told Zach. This is how pissed off I was. I was like, bro, you already won, but I'll still play it out. That's how upset I was at the time.
Yeah,
because I was just like,
nah, dude. You see that happen?
Fucking joke. Like, excuse my language, but I thought about the match against J-Way with the paralysis. I thought about the Electro Ball miss against Brendan that made me go to a game 3. I thought about in the no offense, and I was like all the naked hurricanes where in response I can't even hit a 90 accuracy move at.
Yo, I got naked hurricanes on everybody this season.
So I was just like, what the fuck is going on? No, like this season in particular was crazy. I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, dude, the hacks have just been bad for you. Like, really
so bad. I was just like, at this point, I know I lost. Like I was telling Zach before we came on, I was just like, if whatever comes in and maxes, that's pretty much it. There's nothing I can't go against. Max Snorlax, Max Rhyperior. If you decide to max this Nagano right here, I wouldn't be able to stop it. I mean, potentially if I get tricked him up, but yeah,
it wasn't looking good, especially because he lost his max already. He can't max and defense. Like, it's just a bad time. So, obviously at this point, Jay's like, he's out of it. He's leaving the Discord. Where it's no longer the fun game that we expected to have here. But I still got to give it my all. I can't just take it easy because he's had a tough time. I know he wouldn't respect that. So I switch into here, and I'm like, I can get the Calm Mind boost off and try to deal with his team. And I saw the ally switch here, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just knock off this Porygon's Eviolite. That way I can try and get rid of it. Because honestly, like, as you can see, Trick Room is like my strategy mainly on his team anyway, so if he gets it off, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'm just hitting Dazzling Beam. So again, super pissed off. I really just don't care at this point. I'm just like, not that I don't care, but I'm just like, I can't.
You're out of it.
I'm like, no, it's like what? Like if I set up Trick Room, he's gonna bring a Snorlax, and he probably has what's it called, Hammer Arm or like Body Press and shit. So I'm like, okay, I can't bring a I can't set up Trick Room, or maybe he has Heavy Slam. He's gonna so he kill Gardevoir. I'm like, I can't do much. So I'm just
Right.
like, might as well just keep hitting at this point.
And this is actually a different Sylveon too, because this isn't like the one that I had before. I was really kind of banking on the Calm Mind to like get the special defense that I wanted. So I have the berry here just in case of Super Fang, Citrus Berry specifically. So yeah. I feel at this point, versus base 60 speed Porygon 2 and base 80 Gardevoir, there's no reason not to Trick Room and try to like go off. Now I could have probably detected there for the detect since I do outspeed his Pokemon outside of Trick Room. In Trick Room. But at this point, obviously, both of our mental states at this point are just kind of like fucked. Like, I mean, don't be wrong, it's not like I wasn't, happy that I'm in a winning position here, like arguably, but I'm feeling bad for Jay. I'm feeling, you know what I mean? Like we're trying to take the win here, but this was pretty wild. I was not expecting Shadow Sneak from a guard.
I was like, I gotta make it close at least. Yeah,
Right.
I was like, gotta, go down fighting. I was just like,
I can't get washed here. Yeah, no, I get it. And that was clutch though. I was not expecting the Shadow Sneak. I was just like, what the fuck? All right. I didn't even think of a rhyme or reason he had Shadow Sneak on a Gardevoir. Like, it just didn't even register, dude. I was just like, okay, I guess that hits. I guess makes sense, right? People just bring Shadow Sneak on Gardevoir for the advantage.
I guess, whatever, man.
Just we're just out of it. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just like, whatever. I got Trick Room up. I got 2 slow ass Pokemon. Let's just go. And I was like, now I have to make the decision who to Dynamax here. And I'm like, he still has Urshifu in the back, so it's like, if I Dynamax this Snorlax, then he just pretty much takes the L in like 1 or 2 hits. Like, what's the point? So right. So I'm like, I go with the original plan here and Dynamax this Rhyperior right here, because I'm like, Solid Rock, I should pretty much eat almost all of his hits, while also making Snorlax even tankier. But also another thing, so like, even though Trick Room is up, Torkoal still outspeeds everything. It's base 20 speed, crazy ass speed tier. So like, to outspeed it, I actually have to like use this Hammer Arm for the minus speed stage to actually outspeed Torkoal.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, no. That was my thought process. I was like, if I can do that, I can at least hit it and stop the eruption spam, or whatever happens. But now I do the Hammer Arm, and he is indeed slower than Torkoal.
Big crit right there,
Big crit, big fat crit.
Yeah, so not much I can do here. And I'm in my head, I'm like, he's gonna fucking max out for me. Yeah, I was in my head, I was like, there's no reason not to. I'm like, this definitely happening. I was like, I could Solar Beam while I'm still alive.
Right.
Try to be cheeky.
Ally Switch was definitely clutch here. I'll say that for sure. But even though he had the Ally Switch, I'm still able to take care of Gardevoir fast enough to be able to. So when you saw like me like sponge this like ×4 weak grass move, like, I mean, obviously you're already out of it, but I just kind of like, I have to imagine like, are you like, how did he tank it that well? Like, what? Did you even consider how to solve best, or?
Yeah, I mean, only because I was like, there's no reason. I'm like, if he's not bringing like Inteleon, he's not gonna be like weakness policy or something. Like, best. I was just like, also put the addition of defense. I was like, fuck whatever. I was like, it's like,
yeah,
rad. It's like this.
It was like, whatever, whatever, I guess.
You know what I just realized? Like this slow bro that named that dude a female, and I didn't even notice it. Fucking stupid.
Dude, I noticed that like after the match. I was like, Zachy boy, but it's a girl. Okay. I, is that how you feel about me, bro?
I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not taking shots. I'm not taking shots. I promise you, I'm not taking shots.
I noticed that like after the match and everything. So like, okay.
Ping pong.
If I was smart here, I would have definitely considered double targeting it, but I didn't want the slow bro to like go off.
Oh, and I'm like, and then you're also in the sand, so I'm really not touching anything.
No,
Especially
no,
the fantasy
no.
isn't like fucking with you at all right now.
And I was really like caught off guard because I wasn't expecting you to bring a weakness policy on top of that. I was just like, whoa. And with the burn, like you just sponge it like it's nothing. And there goes Snorlax to the close combat that we knew that he was definitely not gonna live. Maybe if I was a smarter player, I could have switched in Crawford Rodriguez right there, knowing the fighting move was coming its way, but I was just like, obviously at this point, I have a lot of advantage anyway. Like, I'm not really thinking about stuff like that. I'm just thinking of like, and we're just kind of both going for the motions in a way. Not that, like I said, I'm like taking anything from Jay's, like, like taking anything like lightly. It's just like the fact that it's like, I feel bad for Jay. I feel bad it had to go down like this, but as as Jay has said countless times in the season, we take those, We don't like that it has to be like this, but we take those. And now I'm thinking like, well, shit, I'm burned. I can't like realistically say like I'm going to be able to kill this slow bro. So I got the T-bolt, got the terrain.
I feel protected. Fucking stupid. Well, yeah,
You're out of it at this point, bro. I get it. You're just going for the motions, kind of like I am.
I don't think. Granted, wouldn't he probably would have killed me next turn anyway. Shit, maybe not. Oh wow.
Yeah, no, the crit, and also I have no HP. I don't think I have like barely any HP, and I have no physical defense on that Rhyperior. So along with the crit, like that did a lot of damage. But you couldn't have known that going in either. And that's one of the reasons why I was like trying to get that Urshifu out of there. And here I was like, if he sucker punches me, I'm honestly fucked. Like, because this Crawford Rodriguez is also not like the bulkiest one I could probably brought. So
Yeah,
it would have probably been
I
hard.
said earlier, I was sucker punch or throat chop, Sean be cute.
Right.
And ended up using it across both games, and yeah. So she wrote
That was
season
it.
5 championship.
That was final.
Congratulations, Zach, again. Two-time champ. Didn't drop a single match throughout
Since
playoffs. Only lost
week
one match
3.
the entire season. Broke the plus minus record. An amazing season.
Thanks,
Congrats,
Jordan.
bro.
Thanks, man. Now that the match is over, I can say I love that you brought that up. But now that I can say it is a bittersweet victory. I would have honestly loved to see our game go to game 3 for obvious reasons. So with everything that like in your mind, like did you have a third team ready to go? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do? Was it like Sun on the back?
Probably gonna bring Sun, to be honest, because she's like, why not at that point? But I mean,
I will say so. Like I only had those two teams basically prepared. So like I
yeah, me
would
too.
have, if I lost that second game, I would have had to take. I mean, I guess practically both of us would have had to really try to take a breather to make a third team out of what we had. But I didn't necessarily have an ideal game plan necessarily. So who knows how the game for you would have went? You know? Yeah, man. No, Jordan. I will say it definitely felt bad, like taking the chip on 2 turns of status on both his D maxes. Like it sucks. It's the game we play. Jay can tell you, man. I felt like shit afterwards. Like it didn't even feel like
Me
not that
too, I like that.
I didn't feel I didn't feel like it's not that I didn't feel like I didn't win. I didn't put my prep in the. You know what I mean? It's not like I played bad, but it's just like the status came and was a big factor in both of our sets. It doesn't feel good, especially for like finals. Finals. You always want to see like a good ass like back and forth like free game round. Like close match where everybody plays really well, but I don't think any of our plays could have really made that much of a difference. When the status came into the picture. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'll say this, and like I echoed earlier in the broadcast, is not trying to sound, damn, Ian, what the hell was the word you used earlier?
Self-absorbed.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like self-absorbed, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, like anything like that, but I honest, and again, Zach 100% deserves a title. He's an amazing season. Don't like to not take away from him. He 100% definitely
Mhm.
deserves it without a doubt. In as a competitor, it's hard for me to not look at that and say if those two things didn't happen, that wouldn't have won both games. And again, that's not me trying to be arrogant.
No,
I'm just thinking about like
I
specific.
legit
Mhm.
I legit don't even like take offense to that because, like I told you, going into this match, and I'll tell you right now, dude. Like I analyzed our teams very meticulously. Like when it came to like I had a Google Sheets that had both of our speed tiers next to the Pokemon that we had on our teams, like the weaknesses, all that kind of shit. And like the way it looked speed tier wise on both ends for Trick Room and your fast teams, like you had me covered on both of them. And your type wise, like you had very good typings for me, for my best Pokemon like Rillaboom, flying and poison. And you just had a great stacked team for me. So I went into this match expecting to take my first loss and probably like my like actual like I lose like out of finals here, just hoping it would go to free games and hoping I could show off some cute stuff like the Power Herb Mew, and you know what I mean, like just giving y'all a good match to watch. I was going into this match expecting to lose, just trying to give you guys a good fight. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
even expect it to go the way it did. I thought genuinely I was gonna lose here, and I wouldn't have minded at all because Jay is my boy. He spoke up a little bit about it, but I've been kind of like his GM this whole like season. As far as like his team and everything. So I felt fine. If he took the chip.
yeah, and like I told Zach, like afterwards, like I was like, bro, I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at like
At
the
the game.
game. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I was just like, because again, I thought about the entire season. I was like, again, the meteor beam missed against Dan, the paralysis against Jay Wade,
Mhm.
the electro ball missed against Brendan. I was like, what the? I was
You,
like, bro,
you
at
really
some
did
point can I
play
get? I'm like,
well.
the best thing that went for me in terms of like RNG this season was the fact that what's it called?
The
I don't even know if
joystick.
this is considered RNG, but I'm like the fucking what's it called? I guess like that crit I got. I think it was like on Steven. That's I think in our match, that was probably the best thing.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
again, like
Uh,
that's just how I feel. I definitely think Zach again 100%. Like in terms of just the record, what he's done, it's really hard to make the case that like he deserved it. He 100% deserves it. And, definitely
and
gotta
I
give it
will
up.
say not that like I don't have a lot of good
I'm like
RNG. Like,
nobody else clapping. Okay.
fuck.
No, because I was clapping, man. I was no, but
No,
because again, I don't want because I feel like the
it
mood
feels
is
weird to
down,
compliment.
and I just feel like that's not fair, to you because I feel like you definitely earned this. So I feel like I don't want to.
I appreciate that.
If people want to hear more of my thoughts, you can watch it on the PLC podcast every Tuesday morning. Well, not every Tuesday morning now because we're obviously going on break. But if you want to hear more about my thoughts and my like whatever like that, want to hear me and Jordan talk about the match, fine. But definitely give Zach all the respects deserves. One loss is outrageous. A plus minus over of
Shit
plus
is
30 new record.
bro, like it's wild, dude. I don't understand it.
Not losing a match in playoffs, I don't think that's a record or a run that will ever be matched. So
Nah,
again,
well,
Zach,
Ariz had
congratulations.
won all his matches in playoffs before.
Well,
Not like this though, you know, and like in such a dominant fashion.
For week 4.
That's and like to not lose a match in over 3 months is just ridiculous. That 3-4 months is just crazy. So again, I don't think if I had to lose someone on the opposing side, and glad Zach, you know, obviously wouldn't mind losing to all the other homies, but again, wasn't mad at him, I was mad at the game, so he definitely deserves all the respect. That's
I completely respect that. Like, it's like I said, not only wrong, I'm not trying to sound like an ungrateful winner. Like, you know, obviously I'm happy that I took the chip. You know, I did work hard all season long. And honestly, like I was gonna say earlier, not that I haven't had, you know, great luck with my RNGs, you know, like obviously like I'm very infamous, you know, when it comes to RNG, like my match versus Mike, you know, all them seasons ago. But a lot of my matches this season felt a little more like hard fought in a way where it was like they were really close matches. Like I didn't have a very many amount of matches where it was like some crazy ass RNG like came in and like affected the outcome like these matches did. I had to fight really hard for a lot of my matches, I feel like. So, you know, I'm not trying to say like in a way like I don't really know where I'm trying to say as much as like the outcome of this match was just genuinely not how I expected things to go at all. I was definitely expecting to take my licks here and probably lose the chip to Jay. Like I said, Venusaur just kind of like, and his speed tiers in general, just kind of like shit all over my team, you know. So I don't get me wrong, I prepped hard for Venusaur. I prepped hard for all of his team, really, you know. But you know, you can only do so much. You can only check so many things, and before your checks get checked as well. And something like that wasn't on Jay's mind. I actually talked to Jay a lot about this match afterwards, and he actually didn't feel super confident about bringing Venusaur because of you know, he talked a little bit about it with Arcanine stuff, and he didn't, you know, he just didn't feel like Venusaur was the play. You know, he felt like it was too how do I put it? It was too of a it had too much spotlight on it. Everybody knew they would have to answer Venusaur. Everybody knew they would have to check Venusaur. If you don't respect Venusaur, then what are you doing? You know, so I felt like maybe that's one of the reasons he didn't really feel confident bringing it. But you know, it is what it is. I'm glad, you know, that finals, you know, was me and Jay. You know, I feel like, you know, we've always had like a really good rivalry going, as like, you know, Jordan kind of spoke about in the podcast this week. Jay was the first person to give me my first L, you know, in league history. So it felt pretty cool that we both ended up going to finals together, since we both came into the league at the same time, you know, as far as like going into the seasons together. So, but that said, man,
yeah, man,
Pokemon
clap it up for the
Divinity.
champ one time.
Clap.
Clap. Yeah, I'm clapping, but my mic isn't picking it up, which is actually like,
No, I got you.
I'm
Like
to call the company and be like, I paid too much money for y'all not to get my claps, motherfucker.
I got you on that. But,
So
yeah, man,
yeah,
it's a bittersweet one, but we gotta take it, I guess. Now I'm really hoping, you know, maybe next season, you know, maybe, you know, Jay has had his, you know, time to recover from all of like the bullshit RNG season 6 through his way this season. Maybe, you know, he, you know, does some deep meditation and he comes back next season on a complete fucking tear, bro. Like he told me himself, he was like, who knows, man, maybe, you know, if I'm feeling in the right headspace, you know, it's going to be the Jay Revenge Tour, man, and I'd be glad to see it. But, you know, I also completely understand how frustrating this game can be. As far as working so hard all season long, and it, RNG just kind of steals the game sometimes, and it sucks that it had to happen. In our last like finals matchup. So I completely understand if like Jay, like understandably, he's always wanted to take a break from the seasons. If this is the thing that makes him really kind of like want to take a like real break from it, I can completely respect and understand that. I would probably feel the same way in the shoes. Who knows? Maybe
Nobody was
I
even
might.
talking about that.
I
No,
mean,
I was
no,
just
because
saying,
no,
just
no, I
putting it
feel
out
him because
there.
like this, like we had that conversation. But I mean,
Right, right.
that's I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I do
Mm,
want to say one last thing. Just personally, just want to give a um big thank you to everyone. Just off the top of my head, Zach, of course, who's whenever I've asked him for team composition help, transactions, he's always been there, practice, etc.
mm,
Big
yeah.
shout out to Reese, same thing, transactions, team composition, he's always been there. Ian, of course, who for the first weeks of the season has always been a Pokemon, and he's always put me on top
Mm,
of that, customer list. He's always been, a really good friend and like that. Shout out to Jordan for the podcast. Even though I think he threw the last part of the season. And just know, Jordan, I did smoke you this season, so you can't tell me shit until next season. It's just pointing that out.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And that's
big,
even if you get a chance to.
That's true.
that's what I'm
That's true.
saying. Big shout out to everyone who has a capture card. I know it's not easy, sometimes it's a lot of pressure, man. At least for me, I was like, damn, my first season capture card. I was like, I hope people don't like roast me, even though I got roasted for my
Bro,
explosion set.
especially like when you like took like a fat L, like, and you're just like, man, not only do it, like everybody get to see it on stream, but and especially for people like me and you, it's like we not only have to eat that L, but then we have to talk about it on the
Yeah,
stream, the next week. It's like, bro, like a lot of times, like league history. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm a good sport, bro. Sometimes I take an L and I'm just like, nah, I ain't showing up for that stream.
yeah, that's what
Fuck
I'm
that.
saying. Big shout
Guess
out
who
to
doesn't get that choice?
I'm dead. Big
Especially,
shout out to
yeah.
everyone who I practiced with. Ian, me and Ian always run exhibition show season. Me and Phil hopped on Showdown a couple times. Me and Zach had an exhibition at some point. Dan also was really cool of him to like reach out for that. Everyone who came to me for advice, I appreciate y'all doing that. I know sometimes I may not have been in the best mood to talk Pokemon, and for that I do apologize. But I hope that whenever I did help you out, I hope that I at least try to give y'all some type of wisdom. Even though again, I don't claim to be the smartest guy, but I'm just vibing. Just again, thanks everyone for playing. I was really happy that we did practice this time around. I feel like in season 2 it was something really special that, unfortunately, because of what happened with Gert, that we couldn't really see it through. But I'm glad we saw it through. The competitive nature from the Armor Conference to the Crown Conference. Even though unfortunately we did lose his head, I loved the banter, the trash talk. That was amazing to see. And just
There's
again,
definitely
one last
nothing
time
impressive.
for the Zach. God, Zach, let me. I got you. You just get through it. And again, for the guys behind the scenes, Ian and Zach, who they go through their arguments and everything. But what, of course, when they're making the list, but that's all for us at the end of the day. They're trying to provide
He
us with the
deserves
best
it.
experience. Ian, of course, for coming in every week, streaming this when he does have to, being completely honest. So, Ian,
Mhm.
thank you for that. And thank you for being extremely patient with us, the mods, whenever we have arguments, things like that.
Definitely
And yeah,
trying
all the
time.
mods, man, shout out. I'd also like to give myself a shout out because I am the fucking Dr. Phil of this shit, and I'll always be here to fix all the problems that we have. And
Bro, you come
that's
clutch.
it.
Your will comes clutch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you all the players this season for playing, having a great, really awesome season. I think that this is probably our most successful season ever. Um, do some of us wish we did better? I'm sure, Simon, it was hard to probably take all those losses and not see your efforts really reflected on your score. But I know that you're coming back next season really hard. Everybody who played this season, even a lot of the newbies did really well. I mean, Brendan brought it all the way from the bottom to now.
Yeah.
Um, Phil came back after a long hiatus. He had not played any competitive Pokemon outside of his last league time. Comes in and does pretty fucking well too. That was awesome. I mean, everybody had a great season. I think we had good trades. We had a fairly balanced list. We should have probably come in with one asterisk in the beginning, but it's not a big deal. Um, and I think that next year is gonna look great. We don't know what that looks like yet. We don't know who's all coming back. We don't know what game we're gonna be playing on. If Diamond Pearl Platinum Remix are gonna have the Nat decks, like we don't know that yet. But we'll cross, like they said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I trust that the off-season council maybe have something. I know that everybody's pretty tired. If the off-season council does have something, I will probably be streaming that too. So we'll see what we got going down the pipes, guys. Keep engaged in the league, um, in the Facebook and in the chat if you're in there, guys. Uh, as always, give us a like and a follow. Check out Jay the Homie at twitch.tv/Jay the Homie. Doesn't he have a new one now? And then follow him on PLC Podcast on Spotify. That's where you can get all your favorite podcasts. Give him a listen and a follow. And then shout out to friend of the channel, typical commentator, Kid Sid. He's been here this season, done a lot of really cool stuff for us. He's done some of the graphic tees, some of the champion tees that people have had. Not
Mm-hmm.
mine, not a big deal. Uh, you can check
I've
him out
seen
at
those
Twitch.
videos.
You can check him out twitch.tv/I am Kid Sid, and he never finishes a game. Seriously, thank you guys so much for playing. I can't believe we're finally here. The season felt like it flew by us, and
It really.
it flew fucking by so fast. It's the best season that we've ever had. Probably one of my better team. I mean, the last couple of years I had a great team, but well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go.
you've been doing consistently better for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go immortalize all of our teams now. With the final
Don't
roster.
don't don't make it. I shouldn't say.
What?
Never mind. I'll talk to you later after stream. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, making it weird. All
Mhm.
right. So, um, I'm gonna immortalize everybody's teams. Like I do every year. I'll make a post that shows everybody's teams in a second. Um, Special thank you to all the commentators that came out this year. Specifically our two finalists here. It's always good to have the crew back together. I know we don't always get to hang out on stream as much anymore, but I don't know what
Adult
I'd do
life,
without
man.
you guys, man. Next year's
I
gonna be
feel it,
weird.
man. Um. So I guess I'll go ahead and use this time, if that's okay by Ian. Give out my little couple shout outs here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So first and foremost, obviously, I want to thank our head honcho, Ian. Ian, if you guys don't know by this point, Ian has a baby expected to come in soon. At any point, he's going to be a daddy. So
Yeah, like
pretty
four
pretty
four
pretty
weeks or so.
that definitely has its own tackles and challenges that he has to go through, as being our head honcho, being the CEO he is. He's got to put on a show every week, even if he doesn't feel like it, which I know these like there's a long like while like a couple months ago he was like mentally out of it. He didn't really feel like doing this stuff anymore. He wanted to play other games,
I mean,
and his heart just wasn't being
pregnancy
organized.
pregnancy's rough.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of factors, a lot of stress that came with that, and but the fact is, no matter how he's feeling, he always pulls through for us. Even if we have like some drama here and there, but he always pulls through. He always makes sure to put the show on, and he puts his focus where it matters when it comes to the PLC. And for that, I really am very appreciative. Let's just be real here. Let's just be honest. No one in this league matters as much as Ian
Whoa,
does. Like,
dude, whoa.
Whoa,
listen, listen,
hold on.
listen,
No,
listen,
no, wait,
listen, listen. There,
wait,
there would be
wait,
no show
From your
if
lips
Ian
to
was.
God ears. I'm just kidding.
wait.
No,
Hold on,
this is a
hold
this is a
on.
team effort. It's a
Easy.
team effort.
It is,
Exactly.
it is. But what I was just trying to say
Do you
was
know how much duct tape I've used to fix this family when it's almost been falling apart? Are you fucking kidding me, right?
Yeah, just
that
coming to
wasn't
me
my
being
point.
like, "Yo, I'm tired. I don't know if I could do this with Zach anymore."
Nah,
It's
nah,
like,
if when you replace
bro,
it,
just
boom.
relax. Like, it's okay.
But no, no. The only point I was trying to make there was that Ian, for better or worse, he took the reins, when it came to like making sure to put on the show for us consistently throughout the last 5, 6 seasons. That's 5, 6 years of our lives that he has put the time, effort, and energy, mentally, into making a great season for us. And we don't always have the best seasons to wrap up with. We don't always have the best feelings, when it comes to, how everything goes and everything is said and done. But all in all, he's the one that makes sure no matter what happens, we all end up having a good time all debatably throughout the season.
Well, I appreciate that. I definitely put a lot of effort into that, but I do want to say that with you and the other mods and all the supporting players, I mean the spreadsheet's never been better. Every year, everybody contributes a little bit more, and it feels like it really is just our show, and I couldn't do it without any of you guys, Jordan, Jay, Zach, all the mods, everybody does a great job.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I definitely don't want to take that away from anybody. Everybody puts a little something of themselves into the league. I'm very grateful that Jordan came through with his podcast this season, and really like
That was
devoted a
tight.
lot of time and energy talking about the teams and matches and everything. And
That was really
it's just
tight.
been really great to be able to listen to every week. Loving that content. Hopefully, if we run next season, we have even more content to give you guys from all over the place. That'd be awesome. I'm very grateful for everything everybody's done. Especially for people who have traded with me, even if they were a little bit more on the scandalous side. Sometimes I appreciate every trade and every trade offer people have entertained when it came to me.
This dude's a
Um,
Yankees. He paid for his trades.
no,
Boo.
you couldn't
It
do
was
that.
going so well until now. Boo. Boo this man. Boo.
But no. If honestly, like Ian can tell you, as you heard maybe before, initial draft, I was not feeling my team. A lot of the trades came clutch here and there, and that really just kind of made the team into what I love. I'm glad, honestly, Ian got into my head, and fucked it, and fucked my mind state up. I didn't draft it like I wanted to, but I'm kind of glad it came the way it did because I really kind of like got to build my team
Gave you more
each and every week.
flexibility throughout the year.
And that was exciting, especially picking up cool stuff like Sylveon and Mew. I love it. Man, Phil, I know you ain't talking shit, bro. Stop
Well,
it. Stop it.
Phil got like
Nah.
no good trades this year. Like
Look,
like not to mention the first
nice.
trade that he got was a fucking waste of all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, he didn't get any good trades this year at all.
And all of his picks got sniped every single time.
Every time, dude. Phil had a rough fucking season, man. He still made it second place. Um, uh, s-
Man, he
so
did great. He did great.
you fucking
And you still
finalists, man.
and you can argue all day you want about how the season could have been better, but like look at our Twitch chat, bro. People are excited. They're happy. They're stoked to join the next season. You already got Phil in the Twitch chat, like, okay, that's cool, but when's the next one? Like,
Right,
you
right.
know, we have fostered a great community here, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you
Yeah.
guys. We wouldn't be here without everybody who pitches in what they do, and I hope we can continue to keep
Yeah,
growing, and
man.
keep battling.
Hit that donate button down below, guys.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, no. Next season, everybody, please enjoy the break. I don't know if or when the off season stuff is happening, but take some time and detox after this long year. I know some of you guys who've been out for a little might have already gotten a head start on us. I'm fucking tired.
Me
Like,
too, dude. Me too.
I can only imagine how you two are.
Jordan, like off season starts next week.
Now, I
Like
will
what?
say one thing before we close out. If Diamond Pearl Platinum doesn't have the Nat Dex or it doesn't have a majority of the Pokemon, we're probably going to have to play on Sword and Shield again, and then it'll probably be Ubers.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's talk about that when it gets closer to the actual like
Yeah,
release.
when we know what we're talking about, right?
Right, right.
Our season starts next week. All right, guys. Jay, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, that's
All
pretty
right.
much it.
Well, thank you guys so much for this season. I man, it couldn't have been a better season. I'm glad that we had a great year. Everybody, please enjoy your summer.
Seven little cup.
Yeah. Everybody, please enjoy your summer. Oh yeah, Little Cup will be dope, dude. Like a little. You guys are distracting me. This season is over. This podcast is done. I mean, stream. Damn it. All right. Thank you for joining us. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Peace.